everybody, Mark from Northeast Bastion. How you guys doing? Well, I don't know if this is a great idea or not, but I have gotten all these Zoom trick worms out, and I'm going to work on the deep dive into the Zoom trick worm, one of my favorite baits. If you guys want to geek out on colors, if you saw any of the pictures I posted or any of those shorts, you know I've got a ton here. And once I started pulling them all out, I was like, wow, do I really want to do this? This is going to be a long one, but I'll get through it. I'll get through it. So if you guys are a fan of the Zoom trick worm, if it's a bait you like to throw, you will love this video. Hopefully it won't go too long, even though there is a ton of colors here. Now, I don't think I'll open every bag and show you every color out of the bag, because that might take 2 hours long because there's so many here. But I was just on Land Big Fish. They are having their Labor Day sale right now. So any of these baits you see, if they're in stock, you can get them for, I think they're doing 20% off. So good time to stock up. I think they have like over 180 colors on Land Big Fish. Now, they're probably not all in stock. I have a ton here. I don't think it's 180, but it's pretty darn close. And it's an excellent bait. I've talked about it on my channel before. I've never done this deep of a dive into it. So if you guys are into colors and worm colors and different, the hues that they have, you guys should enjoy this. Now, what is a Zoom trick worm? Well, I happen to have a couple rigged up here on the ways I like to throw them. This is probably my favorite color, the black grape. But this is the Zoom trick worm, 6.5-inch bait. Finesse worm. I'll take one out of the bag here just so you can see it without being rigged up. So if you are new to bass fishing, one of the best ways to catch bass is worm fishing. Now, people have been doing it for many years, and the Zoom trick worm has been around for a long time, and it's caught a lot of fish for a lot of people. And it's just your basic straight worm, 6.5 inches long. When you buy these, it's a 20-pack, so they do last a long time. They just come out with more and more colors every year, and it's just simple, old school fishing, throwing a Zoom trick worm. And there's a lot of ways you can rig it up. The two ways that I like to rig it up the best are, one is on that original slider head. I've talked about that on my channel before. Here's what they look like in the box. And Slider Worms is having a 20% sale on their site too. I just got the email today. But this is the original Pro Head slider, if I can not dump the whole thing out. And what it is it's a jig head, but it's flat on the side. And there's your line tie. And that's, I believe, a 2/0 hook. I think that's a 2/0 hook. But that is your slider head. An excellent way to throw a Zoom trick worm. You just thread it on there. And black is one of my favorite colors too, black and black grape. And I'll go through, all these colors, and I'll go through my favorites as we get into this video. But it's as simple as that. And it's an open hook. And even with this open hook, though, it fishes pretty, it's pretty good. Unless you're fishing in some real, gnarly stuff. But what's nice about this slider head is the way this bait just kind of goes down, kind of has that little wobble as it goes to the bottom. Great bait to cover points with, outside of weed lines. If you've got, big, massive flat areas, real heavy, thick cover, this would not be the way to go with this. So this is pretty much an open water technique. I'll get out onto humps, as I said, points. Those are the kind of structures you want to really focus this trick worm on. And the outside of weed lines too. But that's just with that slider head. Has a nice, it just goes down nice to the bottom. Has a nice kind of like side to side as it's going down to the bottom. And then really the other way I do it, this is just on a shaky head worm. It's a great shaky head worm. Whatever shaky head you like to use, that happens to be that Gamakatsu finesse tricky head. I couldn't remember the name of it. but that's what that one is. Whatever shaky head you like is good. If you like throwing a shaky head, this is a great worm to team up with it. One of my subscribers mentioned he likes to throw it as a Nico rig. You could do that if you guys like to throw a Nico rig. Another great, way to throw it is that. You can throw it as a wacky worm. I just take the worm and go right through like the egg sac section. Good as a wacky worm too, if you like it throw it that way. But the two ways I throw it the most is on that slider head and on just a shaky head. Those are my two go-to most of the time that I'll use it on. But 7-foot medium spinning rod, 6 to 8 pound fluorocarbon, unless you want to use mono. I prefer fluoro. Get to those points, cast it out, and just fan cast your points. If you're working down a shoreline, just straight out in front of your boat. If you're fishing from the bank, if you can fish the shorelines to the left and to the right, you can cover a lot of water. And I don't want to say it's easy fishing, because nothing's really easy fishing, but it's a simple technique. It's an old school technique, that people have been doing for years. And it still catches fish. When all else fails, worm fishing can probably get you some bites. And I've kind of broke up the colors here as best I could. I have all my darker colors here on the right side. I've got four lines of baits. I've got my green pumpkins, and there are different ones here. I've got some of my lighter colors here, blues and purples here. Some random ones here, some pumpkin, watermelon, anything that's got a chartreuse tail, and some of the bright colors that you might want to use if you're throwing around, if you're sight fishing, if the water's really dirty, if you want to be able to see your bait, these are great options. And then let's see some of the new core colors that they've come out with in the last year or so. Some of the old, I don't think they make the old Z3 trick worm anymore. I've got some of those. That was like I believe they had 3 different color pores that did it. I only see one color available, so I think maybe they discontinued it. And then just some more of the Baitfish colors and the craw colors. So I think I'll work left to right, kind of show you the packs. I'll show you some of the individual colors. As I go through this, if you see a color that I don't really show that well or that long, let me know. I'll do another video on it. But if you're new to fishing, this is a great way to get into fishing. It won't cost you a lot. You just need some jig heads and some worms, and whatever your fishing setup is, and you're good to go. And you can fish this bait pretty much anywhere. As I said, thick, heavy cover. It's probably not the best. Points, humps, outside of weed lines, that's your best bet for this. But let me just go through some of these. I'll show you the ones that I think are discontinued first. This is their older. This is their Z3 trick worm. This came in a 10-pack back in the day. That's a Morning Dawn color. The only one I think I see, and I don't even know if I have that color. Yeah, the only one I see available is this Prism Shad. So I don't think they're making this one anymore. Here's one they called the Edge. This is the Bull Bluegill color, which was also a robo-worm color. It's very popular. And this is the one they called Magic. So I'll show you. I'll show you this one here just so you can get an idea. To me, these were a little softer. It had the 3-color pour like this one. The Magic is a brown, a blue, and a green. And it's just a softer plastic. So it was a different formula. Generally the same worm. Maybe some more ridges on it. I'd have to compare them. Let's see if they're any different as far as that goes. When I look at them next to each other, they don't really look any different as far as the actual shape of the worm or anything. I think it's the same mold. I think they just used a softer plastic, and they used that 3-color pour on these ones. But I would assume that the regular trick worm was so popular, people didn't really need this one too. I just don't see them available, so my guess is that they're not making them anymore. But I grabbed a few back in the day. This one here, this Prism Shad, is the one that I did see on Land Big Fish that they still had. I'll show you that one up close. So if you like a light blue, it's got like a, to me, it looks like it's like a clear with a flake, a purple, and then a blue. I mean, it is a cool color. So I believe Land Big Fish does have that prism shad. So if that's something you like, they do have them. That might be the last color that's out there, because I think on Tackle Warehouse, that's the only color they had too. So good idea. Add, you know, some more softness to the bait, some different colors. But like anything else, if they're not selling them, they're not going to keep making them. But that is the trick worm, the Z3 trick worm from Zoom. So I'm gonna try to do this as manage this as best I can. And when I show something, I'm gonna try to move it to another part of the table here, so I'm not mixing it up. All right, so over here, let me just show you these ones. These are some more like Baitfish colors, and this one is actually called Baitfish. That's a really cool, if you want something that's like a, you know, a natural looking Baitfish type color. It's got that smoke with all the different flakes on top. It's got that whitish, but it's kind of like a, it's like not a pearl white. It's kind of like a gray white, like an off-white there. But the Baitfish color is really cool, like good clear water color. Another one I like is that baby bass color. I've got a couple bags of those. Always a good color in the Zoom line. That Baitfish, or that baby bass color. Got the green in there, the flake. It's got the different flakes underneath. That's a good color, the baby bass. It's one I like a lot. If I go to a lake and I know the water's really super clear, even though you'd be surprised, the straight black one, even in clear water, just works so well. So the Baitfish colors like that baby bass, that Baitfish color, those are good options for you. Let's see, what do we got here? These are more, I believe, like kind of crayfish type colors. Like this one they call Cajun Craw. I always thought looked pretty cool. And really a lot of it is confidence, colors you like, colors that you know work on your body of water, because they've got everything you can think of. Like I like this one because it's got like that gold flake in there. I always thought it was a good color. Cajun Craw. This one they call Spanish Craw. A little bit of a darker craw color. Whenever I see one that says craw on it, you know I've got to try it. All that different flake in there. It's a little darker on top. That's a really cool one. And as you see this, watch this video, all these colors are excellent. They will all work at certain times. If you throw them, eventually you will catch fish on them. I just have ones that I tend to have more confidence in, that I throw more often, but there's not a bad choice here. And especially, you know, matching your water conditions that you're fishing. So if that's one that you think looks cool, Spanish Craw, that's what that looks like. And I don't know for a fact if all these are still available. Some of these may be discontinued or older colors. That I'm not sure of. I didn't go through all 180 whatever and double check. So some of these, they may not make anymore. A lot of them they do though. They don't really stop making certain colors. This one I always thought was cool, this brown orange swirl. You know me, anything brown orange I'm gonna like. And when I saw this one for a, oops, dropping it on the floor. I saw this as a trick worm color. I was like, oh, I gotta try that one. That'll be a really crawfishy looking color. And that swirl with the brown and the orange, it's a cool one. So that's kind of like some crawfish type colors that I've gotten over the years. Here's a, I'll show you these ones because these are newer. They started coming out with these core colors, and they really look awesome. I haven't thrown them much yet, but they look great. I just have to remember that I actually have them and bring them on the boat, because I'm always bringing the black one, the black grape, the pumpkin with the chartreuse tail. But these core colors are really cool, and I'll show you a couple of them. This is the blue with the black core. This one is the red with the black core. So how they pour these, I'm not sure. They must have some way that they can inject that different color into the core of it, the middle of the bait, and it just gives it a different look. This is the watermelon red black core. And so I guess I got two of them, watermelon red black core. This one is watermelon red with a red core. So I'll show you these up close because they do look pretty cool. This is their newer color line, and I don't know if there's any other core colors out there, but I hope you can see it. It's like, you know, this is watermelon, right? Yeah. So the watermelon is like the outside color around, and it's like surrounding the core, which is the red, and it's definitely got some gold flake in there. So if you can see how it kind of separates there, it's really a cool idea. And these look really good in the water. I just have to fish them more to get the confidence in them. But really, I haven't really thrown the trick worm that much this summer, to be honest with you. When I think about it, I haven't had it. I kind of threw it more in the spring, and I just haven't gotten back to it yet here in the summer. This is one I like. That one that I have 2 packs of, that watermelon red with the black core. So I'll show you how that looks with that black core in there. So you can see that watermelon, how it's kind of surrounding that black center with the red flake in there, and that looks really cool. And, if you guys didn't know, Zoom baits, bass love them. So, what else do you need to know, right? And as I mentioned earlier, it's nice to get these, you know, I mean, they have gone up in price, but with 20% off now, you can save some money. I think they used to be 5 something a pack. I think now they're 6 something a pack, but 20 pack will last you a while. So that's the watermelon red with the black core. There's that red with the black core. You guys can get a good look at that. That looks really cool. That blue with the black core is really neat looking. Just another take on the black blue. Just really neat looking. It's really a cool pour, that core color. So if you like them, you know, whenever it's a new color scheme, and you like it, and I always say get them when they first come out, because who knows, if they don't sell, they'll stop making them, just like that Z3 one. But that's the core color. So that's a newer color line that Zoom has come out with. All right, now I'm gonna go through these standard colors here. I'll try not to make this video 10 hours long, and I'll just go left to right. I've got 3 lines of baits here, and I'll show them to you. This is the smoked mustard red, and some of them, I think I used to get these at, I forget where they used to have the ones that were said limited edition. It might have been up at Wacky Worm in Pennsylvania. I don't remember, but this smoked mustard, a cool color. I liked it with that like orangey back. That was a cool color. Bruised banana is, and some of these I don't even remember where I got them. I probably just saw it and said, yeah, I don't have that color. It looks kind of neat. I'll try it because I love throwing a trick worm, and let's see if the fish like it. I always like to try to see if I can get the fish on my lakes to eat something different. And throwing something different than everybody else is not a bad idea. Some classic colors. This is a pumpkin with a chartreuse tail. And this is just regular pumpkin. Standard colors everybody likes to throw. Always work. Good options right there. This, I believe, are my watermelon colors. You got to have a watermelon red. Works great. I love watermelon candy, so you know I'm going to have a trick worm of that color. Watermelon candy. Oh, let's see. I think it has this one is watermelon red magic, so it just has some more flake in it. I hope that glare is not too bad. You guys can see that. And like I said, if I go through any color here quick and you see the video and you want to see it again, let me know. I can either do a short, quick video on it or just a short on it. Here's a watermelon with purple glitter, so you can have a little different color. You know, if you like watermelons but you want to add a little purple to it, always a good color. Any of these watermelon options are good. It's a great color for a trick worm. And this is just watermelon magic. Kind of like that watermelon candy. Lots of different flake in there. Really shows off well in the water. It's a great color. Watermelon magic. Excellent. So all the watermelon choices, they're all strong. There's a bunch of other ones that I don't even have. Sometimes I'll look through what I have and I'll go on, like Land Big Fish. They just had, if you you guys saw the short I just posted before, they just had the summer sale. So I got a couple of things, and now I'm looking, now they send me like a week later, I get the 20% off for Labor Day. I'm like, what the heck? Let me go see what they got. Maybe I'll get some more trick worms, because I definitely need some, right? Because I'm low on them. Sometimes I just look through like all the different watermelon colors and go, okay, I have that one, I have that one. That looks kind of neat. Maybe I'll try that one. And then when I go fishing next time, I'll try it out. These are all ones that have a chartreuse tail. I don't know if I have any repeats, but let me go through them. This is just watermelon red with the chartreuse tail. I really like this option. I do very well with the baits with the chartreuse tail. It works great. Really shows up well in the water. This motor oil with the chartreuse tail is a really good option. I highly recommend that one. Watermelon red. I think that was the first one I showed you, right? Yeah, I got a couple of those. Watermelon red chartreuse. Yeah, they're the same. A couple of those. Some bags newer than others. Watermelon red. You think I like watermelon red with a chartreuse tail? I got 3 bags of that one. This is just watermelon with a chartreuse tail. So it's just regular watermelon and the chartreuse tail. That's a good option. And here's another motor oil. So obviously I like that one too. I got 2 packs of those. So motor oil chartreuse tail. It's a good one. Give it a shot. And the watermelon reds with the chartreuse tail. Very strong. Always good. Highly recommend the chartreuse tail baits. Now these ones here, this pile, is a little bit different. And they're ones I don't, they are very specific to the time when I think that they produce the best or work the best. Now this is, whoops, this color here is that methylate color. I don't know what it is about this color that gets bit, but it does. Like that reddish, orange, red, light red. I don't know what you want to call it. But that methylate color just catches fish. I don't know what it is about it. It works. I don't know why I got 3 bags. I don't remember buying 3 bags. Somehow I got 3 bags. So I've definitely got plenty of those. But that methylate is a cool color. These other ones here are very specific to water clarity or what the mood of the fish is, in my opinion. If I'm going to use like, this is white, old Frank's Tackle. I got that back in the day from there. If I'm going to use like the white, something like this yellow, this lime truce, these bright, loud colors, the sherbet color, or the bubblegum, which is a very popular color. I like them if I'm sight fishing, if the water is very stained. If I'm just seeing fish cruising around, they may not necessarily be on beds. They're just shallow. They're in the spring. They're moving up and they're around. These brighter colors twitched around, and another way, I just thought of that when I said twitched around. You guys ever throw a flick shake? This is a good option too. If I see fish, I know they're shallow, I see them cruising around, I want to make bomb cast out and have that thing flicking with those bright colors. For what, especially smallmouth, they hate bright colored baits. They will absolutely destroy them. So they do have their time and place. I don't throw, like, if I was going to go out next week and fish, which I hope to, I probably wouldn't bring those colors with me. I'd stick with my standard colors. But there's times in the year when those colors are good. Now, if I were to go to, let's say, I went to the river and the river was real murky and the water was dirty, then maybe those colors I'd throw more. That's a bit different than my lakes, which are pretty clear right now. So that's those brighter colors. That's where I use them. Okay, so that's that section over there. So let's take a look over here and see how I have these put together. Here's some of the ones that are just kind of random colors these are actually a little bit newer. These are some newer colors I've gotten in recent orders. This is a castaic choice, they call it. And I'll even show you some of these newer ones because I don't remember quite how they're. And this castaic choice is kind of like a dark pumpkin and a green. Nice color. Anything with those natural color combos on it are always good. Castaic choice is a good one. This one they called Purple Pumpkin. And that was probably when I was making some orders and said, oh, let me get some, I'll get a few more let's see what purple they have. So this is kind of like that pumpkin color, but it's got a purple hue to it. That's a little different. Show them something a little different. Never a bad thing. So Purple Pumpkin. And then I know this one I didn't get too long ago. This one they call Old Purple. And that's just a good color. I like the black grape better, but this one's good too. I love this like in a slider worm, this color. But that Old Purple is a good one. Catches fish. Purple baits, they work. This one they call Purple Passion. It's kind of like a purple and green combo. Kind of like a sprayed glass type color. I'll show you that one. Looks kind of, when you first look at it, it looks kind of like a June bug, but it's just really cool. It's more like like I said, a sprayed grass. It's kind of like a June bug on one side and a watermelon on the other. So that's a really cool color. So if you guys were wondering what the Purple Passion looks like, it's pretty darn cool. Makes me want to go out and throw it. Might be the first one I try next week. Let's see, got some blues here. This one they just call, this one is one of my newer ones, Killer Blue. I don't think this is a newer one. I don't think I've thrown this one yet, but it's a great color. That light blue, that'll look really good in the water. Zoom is the master of different colors. This one is just natural blue. You guys can see that. Kind of like a shad look to it. Natural blue. This is a blue glimmer, or glimmer blue. A little lighter on the lighter side. Got that blue hue to it. Another good sight type fishing color. This one is some of the greens. This one they call Disco Green. This one they call Green Flash. I like this one. I've caught quite a few fish. It's a Green Flash. I remember when it first came out, I was using it quite a bit. It's a really cool color, that like silvery bottom, that green on top. The Green Flash is cool. And some of these that say limited edition, I don't know, maybe they made them for a while and they don't make them anymore. I don't know that for a fact. But that's the kind of the random ones here. The rest of these, I believe, are green pumpkins, different shades of green pumpkin. Of course, you know I've got to have a green pumpkin candy. That's just a fantastic color in any bait. One that I always like to bring with me. Green pumpkin candy, watermelon candy. Fish just eat that color. I think it probably looks very bluegill-like to them. That's my guess. But it definitely works. So green pumpkin candy. Any of these green pumpkins are good options. Just straight green pumpkin. Some of these, let's see, I might have more than one. This one is green pumpkin with purple and green flake. So it's green pumpkin with purple and green flake. Not quite the green pumpkin candy colors, but it does have purple, does have green. Good option. This one is green pumpkin orange. So it's green pumpkin and it's got some orange in there. Take a quick peek at that one. Almost like I need to do this live and say, hey, hold. So you can shout out, hey, let me see that one again. That's pretty cool. Green pumpkin with orange flake. That's good. If you're a green pumpkin fan, Zoom has got them for you. Here's a green pumpkin blue flash. Very cool color. Green pumpkin with green flake. So just green flake in that green pumpkin. Green pumpkin, purple and green. I have this. I got two of those. And then, oh, this one. I thought this was regular green pumpkin. This is green pumpkin magic. Whenever you see magic on there, you know they're going to have a lot of flake in there. So these are all great options. All the green pumpkins are good. Definitely are fish catchers. So that's the green pumpkin group. So that's the middle section here. I need a drink. I brought water out because I knew I was going to talk a lot. Okay, now, these are the colors I probably have the most confidence in, probably because I use them the most, but I've caught the most fish on. So these are the darker colors in the line. And they're the ones that I just have faith in. This one they call Black Emerald, kind of cool. It looks June bug-like, but it's just kind of like a black with a bunch of green and red flake in it. I don't know if they make that color anymore. Here's a June bug with a chartreuse tail. You know I love the chartreuse tail. June bug with a chartreuse tail can be deadly, just like June bug, especially this time of the year can be very good. I don't know what it is with June bug, but fish just eat it. Great color. My number one color, well, my 1 and my 2. 1 and 1A, I guess, is more appropriate. My number one, if you've never done this before, you've never thrown a trick worm, you want to get into it, get either straight black or black grape. Black grape is my number one. Black is my 1A. These two I always, if I'm going out, I know I'm going to have a shaky head setup. A pack of each of these definitely goes with me because I know I'm going to throw them. No matter where I go, no matter what water clarity, dirty water, clean water, weedy, not weedy, lakes, whatever. If I throw either a black, and sometimes both, or a black grape trick worm, it catches fish. It just works. I don't know what it is, even with the straight black in even clear water, it works great. It just shows up so well. Do fish think it's a lizard? Do they think it's, you know, a leech? Do they think it's some kind of insect? I don't know. They eat it. They think it's a little snake, whatever. It shows up well and they eat it. So if you have never thrown a trick worm before and you're thinking of, after seeing this video or thinking of doing it before you saw this video, black or black grape, start with those. They work great. Some of the other darker colors I've got here, and they're all very good, by the way. This gooseberry, it's like a purple, black, and June, it's got a whole bunch of colors in it. That's really cool. This candy bug is a cool color. I mean, they're all excellent. Zoom makes just such great color baits with the different flakes patterns they have, the different, you know, different pores that they put together. They just look so cool. Like that candy bug is so cool. Oh, this one here, this Tilapia Magic. This is a newer one I've gotten. Really cool color. I should just take my newest ones and bring them out with me and try them all out. But that tilapia is really cool. Tilapia Magic. I don't even know how I would describe it. I guess it's a green pumpkin with just a bunch of flake. I guess that could be a watermelon, but whatever. It's a green with a bunch of flake in it. I call it Tilapia Magic. It looks great. I'll hold that up to the light. Yeah, maybe it's more of a watermelon with a bunch of flake in it. But it's cool. Tilapia Magic. That's one of the newer ones I've gotten. If you guys, you know, have followed my channel for a while, you know whenever I, you know, make a land big fish order, especially since they're like the kings of Zoom, I always throw a bag in every now and then if it's a color I don't have, just to try it. Just they all work, and I like to try different colors, as you guys can see. This California 420, that's a newer one I've gotten. That's a pretty popular color for a lot of bait companies. It's a really cool, you know, two-tone color. I really like that one. California 420. It's a good one. That's a good one. It's a good one in any bait, especially a trick one. And it's a 20-pack. I always like that. Let's see. I think these are some reds here. They call this one Black Ruby. Black with a red flake in it. That was $4.99 when I bought it. What did I say now? $6? There. Red shad. Gotta have a red shad, right? Gotta love that. Red shad. I think this is Black Ruby too. Yeah. So I'll show you the Black Ruby quick here. Almost done. So if you want a black with that red in there, a Black Ruby is a good one. I seem to do better with just the straight black than any of these other black ones with the different, colors in them. I don't know. I think I just have so much confidence in the black, I just throw it more, but they all work. Here's that black sapphire. That's like a black with a blue flake. Very good color. We've got 4, amazingly, only 4 bags left. Let's see what we got here. All right. So just some darker colors. This one they call plum apple. It's a cool color. Anything plum is usually pretty good. I just did very well with a plum like a power worm. I don't know what it is with plum in the water, but fish just love it. They call this one plum apple, so probably a good choice. Let's see. I think the next one is just regular plum. Nope, I take it back. Red bug, which is another good color. Another classic color, red bug, which kind of looks like that plum there. But red bug is another good choice. And the last 2, and then there were 2. This one is the African, usually they call them South African Special. This one they just have African Special. Maybe they couldn't fit the whole name on there. But this is the color everybody's making nowadays, that South African Special. It's just such a cool color. It's, a black worm, and it's got purple and red and silver, and I'm sure other flake in there too. But it just looks so cool. That's a cool looking color. South African. I'm pretty sure it's South African Special. Maybe they just call it African Special, I don't know. And the last one, ta-da, it says limited edition. I don't know if they make it anymore. This one is electric shad. Now, I don't know how many colors I just showed you, but remember I said there's 180 some colors on land big fish, so I don't know. Is this 100 even? There's 80 more? That's amazing. Electric shad. If this is 100 and there's 80 more, that's crazy. But another cool color. Zoom is, as I said, they're the champions of just colors. They have so many different cool ones, and for a bait junkie like me, when I just see a new color, I just got to try it because they all look good, and they all catch fish. So, really, it's, when there's this many color options, it's personal preference. It's what you have confidence in. All of these will work at the right time. There's not a bad choice there of the 100 to whatever, 75 to 100, whatever I showed you. But just to kind of backtrack a little bit, if you have never done this before and you want to do it, you can't go wrong with the black, and you can't go wrong with the black grape. If you want to expand on it, look at those green pumpkins, the watermelon candies, the green pumpkin candies. Those some of those blues are great. I would recommend the pumpkins with the chartreuse tail. The motor oil with the chartreuse tail is just a killer color. They're all good. They're all good, guys. I don't want you to think there's, I just know the ones I throw the most and I have the most confidence in. But I think if you pick one, if you just throw a green pumpkin trick worm all the time, then you could do pretty good. But, that motor oil with a chartreuse tail has caught a lot of fish for me over the years. I mean, this bait was popular when I started getting into bass fishing seriously in the 90s, so it's been around for a long time. Some of these bags are pretty old. Ones especially that say $4.99 on them. But, any of those chartreuse tail ones are great options. And land big fish, they really are the kings of Zoom as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if anybody has more. Who used to have a lot of Zoom stuff? Now, if you guys live in Pennsylvania and you go to Wacky Worm, they have like a wall of Zoom, so they have a ton of colors. I'm sure I got a lot of these there over the years. But land big fish right now is having their Labor Day sale, 20% off, and so is Tackle Warehouse. They're having a sale there. So if you prefer Tackle Warehouse, you can get them from there. I think they have like 75 colors. A paltry 75 colors on Tackle Warehouse and 100 and 80 plus on Land Big Fish. So so that's it, guys. That is the Zoom trick worm. That's a deep dive into it. If you guys wanted to geek out on colors, we just did. And I'm sure that I'll even add more colors as time goes by, because they come out with a new color. I see one I want to try, like that Castaic. Was it Castaic Special? I forget what is it. I saw that one. I'm like, ooh, I want to try that out. I grabbed it. It's just a great way to. It's like old school fishing from when you were a kid, throwing a worm, going out and throwing a rubber worm. And the Zoom trick worm has caught a lot of fish for me over the years. There's been times, especially for me, pre-spawn, when the fish are just starting to gang up, and just finding areas where they're getting ready to gang up before, and you can find a pot of them, and you just drag this slider head through there with that trick worm on it, or they're out on a hump before they move in, and just drag that around. It's a killer. It's a killer. And if you prefer the shaky head, want something a little more weedless, throw it on the shaky head. As I said, the flick shake, you can throw it on there. You can throw it on that Nico rig. Whatever way you want to present the bait is cool. Whatever way you have faith in. If you guys have another way you like to throw a trick worm, please let me know. I'd love to hear it and try it out. But all these colors have their time and place. Remember, a lot of it is confidence. A lot of it's the water clarity you're fishing. But, you know, it's hard to beat that black grape. Hard to beat the straight black. Hard to beat those watermelons and green pumpkins. They produce everywhere. They're classic colors. They work everywhere in every kind of bait. So check it out. So any questions, let me know. If there was a color that I went by fast and you'd like to see more of it, please, you know, let me know. As I said, I can do a video on it. And I'm sure as the years go by, we'll revisit the trick worm here on on my channel, because I love it. I throw it a lot. And just when I was preparing for this video, I'm like, man, you know, some of those days I've been out when they're eating just like drop shots and Neds, and they're out on the bank. Why not? How come I'm not dragging a trick worm around out there? Who knows? Show them something different. I just haven't done it. I get so, you know, focused throwing those Neds and those drop shots this time of year that I kind of get away from that trick worm and think of it more, at least for me, as my arsenal as a springtime bait. But I should be throwing it now when those fish are going to start ganging up as the water gets colder and start moving around and pushing bait up. The trick worm will be good. But that's it. That's it. So I don't know how long this video is. What is it? Hey, 42 minutes. I thought it was going to be an hour. So if you are still awake, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for hanging in there. If you have to watch it in segments, that's cool too. I'll put links to the Zoom trick worm. You know, they also make a Magnum trick worm, which I think I might have just black of that. I don't throw that one that much, but they do have the Magnum one. The Z3, I don't think they're making anymore. They have their finesse worm, which I'll probably do a video on someday, because that's a really good bait too for shaky head fishing. That's a smaller bait, but this video is dedicated to the trick worm. So check it out. Check it out. Like I said, everybody's doing their sales now, so if you're thinking of getting some, it's a good time to get some. 20 per bag, which is great. They last. They're pretty durable plastic. You know, if you're tearing up your trick worms, you're having a pretty good day of fishing, because they last pretty well. And I always found if the end starts to get a little torn up, I can take it off the hook, chop that, you know, the part that's all ripped up, and use it as a 6-inch worm, and then a 5.5-inch worm, and then a 5-inch worm until I want to change it to a new one. But lots of great colors out there, as you guys can see. Lots of great colors. Great bait. So any questions, let me know. I'll put links to Land Big Fish in their sale and Tackle Warehouse in their sale, and you can check out their collection of Zoom trick worms they have for sale. And I'll put a link to that slider head that I like to use. That's old school right there, slider fishing. And, you know, really whatever jig head you like. If you guys just have a Kitech ball head jig, you can throw it on that. I just like that kind of, I always liked how that slider head kind of does that as it goes down. So really personal preference. If you have a jig head you like, put a trick worm on it. You'll catch them. You'll be fine. But that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging in there if you made it through the whole 40+ minutes. Please like this video. Please share it. And I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.